Hey, and we're off. We are off, guys. Welcome, welcome to the 2022 Recheck World Championship. The first match I've covered, we've seen two matches commence already. Pretty stacked bracket, pretty small bracket. Kind of concise. Hey, DeJory with the follow. What's up? Speaking of, how we doing? Yeah, it's not the biggest bracket. It's not as big as it was last year. Unfortunately, but I think the smaller pool and people that are more involved in it are gonna just factor in for a quality tournament here. So we're going in for this pretty like standard line with bishop b5 and not knight b5. I do like playing knight b5. If you've watched the channel before or seen anything, yeah, knight b5 is kind of what I call the golden line, and then white ends up with just a nice position. And this bishop b5 stuff, I mean, right now, especially, you're just kind of baiting white in to take a check, and then that ends up not being a great move. Okay, so you're inviting crazy stuff like this. This is an interesting complication. The knight going back, I don't love. Yeah, now what? This looks awkward at best. And then you don't want to help white, or you don't want to help black, excuse me, develop their light square bishop, their worst piece. Typically, black is just behind on development, so if you can get white to, like, I don't know, eat up some pawns or something, waste some tempo, and you can get back, get your typically bad pieces developed, and hope to equalize that way. Otherwise, we do know that black, I mean, is just going to struggle in 3-check. Like, typically, the position just starts that much worse. After e4, it's something like +3. With whatever the response is. So white starts up a minor piece, quote unquote. Yeah, Aryan in the chat says, what is going on? I do kind of agree. These funky lines where the knight goes back to e2, I don't encourage. Not for the faint of heart. That's just interesting. I mean, I guess with the idea here of somehow contributing to pressure on e6, if you're new to 3-check, or even if you're one of these stronger players, I feel like they miss this stuff all the time, or they'll go for these setups where taking on e6 will work, because removing the defender one way is going to start to open up these light squares. Technically, you can't capture back right now. This is pinned, but yeah, taking on e6 with, like, yeah, probably a knight usually. Or just taking on f7. If you can blow up f7, things start to crumble. Sometimes there's like checking and then you're opening up a diagonal like after a check. Vicious shenanigans for white. Yeah, then black plays complicated stuff and white's like, hey, do I have my advantage anymore? Things get very psychological. Wait, this is a check? What was that? What just happened? Wait, whoa. What just happened? Now you can also take this check because there's no taking back. Takes. If you take, there's just 2 checks following up. Oh, they've resigned on the spot. Yeah, that must have been an egregious error on their part. And they saw it right after. They said, I'll just give up this minor piece now. But then there's that check and you can't recapture and things are just blown up from there. Yeah, so giving a game away is white. Wow, that does not feel good. In a 10-game match, first to 5.5. Okay. So if it ends up 5-5, we're going to have sudden death, and then I think it's a win by 2. I think it's a win by 2 thing. Where this happened last year with me and Apostatlet, and in one of the games, I definitely challenged him, and it was a standard game, and we played like a bunch of moves out. And I think we just restarted it. But we played out for a little bit, and then I won 2 games in a row. Very fortunate. My path this year in this tournament is not going to be so fortunate. I got Ukrainian bishops in the first round, and winner of us has to play second place from last year, who put up a mighty challenge against variants only, secret master variants only. Yeah, Miro put up a huge effort. Miro Miljkovic. Yeah, so the winner of my game versus versus Bishops is gonna have to play Miro. So needless to say, we'll be in the losers bracket pretty early on. If you guys are there, what's up? I know Vu was pretty disappointed to lose in the first round, but there's still losers bracket. Still hope. This is your standard video game tournament, losers bracket included. Get a sip of the good stuff in here. Okay. No possible shenanigans, right? The dark squares are kind of tied up here. Knight strongly defending here. Crucial piece. I don't think there's really any takes and takes, and then... Oh, well, yeah. Takes. Knight takes d4 is usually some sort of shenanigan, removing the defender and following up. Yeah, taking here. Looks interesting. They're calculating. They're using a lot of time, too. Yep, and they go for it. They said, I just used a whole bunch of my clock. Anyways. And I'm playing black, so I kind of got to go for something, right? Oh boy, it's a nice find, though. It took me a second. When they were thinking about it, I was like, wait, there is something here. This guy's a really strong player. He's not going to be calculating nothing. And I was thinking about it. There's always attack on f2 or attack on f7. And oh, okay. And now this is pinned. This is also pinned. Bishop moves just anywhere. Then there's checks and checks. And if this knight moves, there's 2 checks. Bishop first. And the queen. Or I guess either way, probably queen first would be stronger. Okay, now the queen just goes back, huh? Yeah, you can't really go anywhere else. You don't want to go to your home square either. Go to e7. You're doing at least something. You've got this battery. Doing basically nothing. Okay, now you got to get here. Yeah. This looks really strong. Letting black get the setup in. This has kind of been the more classical approach. Like VariantsOnly was doing this in the World Championship the last couple years, or at least last year. No, I think the last couple. This e6 b6 setup. Like I was saying in the first game, this typically ends up being our worst piece as black, the light square bishop. And then in turn, this queenside rook just always ends up being in trouble. Like say you don't get developed, these pieces are just kind of over there. This happens over and over again, is like wildly thematic in these 3 check games. But now this queenside castling stuff is not advised as black. Maybe, I mean, they do have so much play in the setup, but this is just very scary where, yeah, something's going to be beat. Taking on c7. How about you just play like... The problem is like takes, and then there's going to be some sort of follow-up. Well, they're going to go for this. And go back. Just kind of allow this. Yeah, probably bishop here, and then this bishop is going to move, and then the queen is going to be threatening. Okay, so you take here first. That was also another option. They have a lot of time, too. I'm surprised they didn't take a little more time. 12 seconds, but there's 2 seconds increment here. Oh, this looks very bad. Obviously, this is a check. This is a check. How do you stop both threats? Oh, you can't even play bishop c6 because this is a check right away. This is crazy. Vlad _00 with some serious prep, forcing this very strong player, this guy who is a little bit chunkier in the ratings department, to play. Oh, this is over. Yeah, VariantsOnly also says what? I'll say I'm covering this, but not for long. Aryan says new opening theory. Okay. Yeah, this is not good. This is not where this guy parked his car. I don't think this guy has much prep. Whoa, now we're seeing some really funky stuff. G3 from white? And then E6 from black. I feel like if you're playing G3, you should probably be playing E5. We could take a look at this after. This could be an expose on what not to do. Yeah, now white's going for a really funky setup. C3 and G3. We are rewriting theory here. Yeah. What an odd move order to get this set up. Oh, now there's definitely this. What is going on here? This is a major inaccuracy. Oh, Vio says looks good for white. Okay, okay. Maybe he likes just taking here. I think this looks horrifying for white. But the top 3 player in the book. Yeah, okay, okay. You just get to develop. Yeah, yeah, just one check. Okay, okay. Yeah, developing. There's always the race to develop. Like I was saying for black, just you lack in development. Yeah, and sometimes like playing moves like this, these queenside moves to try to develop your bad pieces, you just get shocked up on this side, something blows up. Your king side blows up first when you're trying to develop queenside pieces using tempo. VariantsOnly says king g1. I don't like king f1. Okay, interesting. Hey, Pepsi and Gaming also in here. Tournament mod. Repping that Ukraine flag. Okay, now there's some idea for this stuff. Yeah, I do want this to be more communal tournament than last year. Last year I did want to get more people on, all that stuff, feature more, you know, just like things that people are saying, have more people like contribute. Yeah, now this is borderline problematic. Wow, they blasted this out. Try to get some more guest hosts on. That type of thing. Get Ushko in here at some point. We'll get Ukrainian bishops in here at some point. Maybe me and bishops could even look at the games that we play, because he knows a lot of the theory that I go for. Just with the whole study thing being public, and a lot of these guys that have just started or just started recently, use the study with good success, and have kind of pioneered their own way. Like DeJory has his own study. Yeah, and these guys have just found all these like refutations to these really strong lines for white, finding complications for black, things that will confuse white, who's just banking on, you know, starting with an advantage, keeping it, playing solid, and next thing you know, black deviates and you're like, what the hell is going on? And that's where black finds some play. People don't like 3-check for the reason that black just starts with such a disadvantage. Okay, obviously there's no taking because there's going to be checks right away, and also queen's always threatening a second check. So okay, I don't like trading. Typically I do like trading for black, but right now white's king is just much more vulnerable in the same file as the queen. Trading just puts another pawn in front of this potential checking, and then you'll probably get over. Like VariantsOnly said, king g1 initially probably was stronger. There's no light square, or there's no dark square bishop. There's a light square bishop. So that's got to be some of the logic right there. Yeah, nice to see a bunch of people watching. 9 spectators. Yeah, 9 whole spectators, guys. That's crazy. The third match to happen this year. All right, so we're getting this weird tension here. The queen's black says, I'm fine with this exchange. I don't want to move your pawn up the center of the board. Strengthen your light squares in front of my light square bishop. Okay, this is interesting. Yeah, now you're kind of forcing it. And now you have like a janky pawn structure. This is hit. I don't like this at all. Okay. Now there might be taking here, right? I guess there's no real follow-up. If the bishop was checking with this square, bishop h3 was a check. This pawn getting in the way, hilariously useful. Yeah, these kind of landmine pawns that are just like randomly in the middle of the board, obstructing a diagonal, and then the next thing you know, they're getting in the way of a check. You just said I got saved by this pawn I didn't even care about. Ooh, this square is now available. Check. check. Where do you even go with this bishop here? Okay, okay, there's an intermezzo check. Time situation also horrifying. Check, or takes, and then there would be a check here. So you have to take. Ah, now you're defending the square, though, after the intermezzo. So useful. Yep. But this is horrifying. How do you stop this? This is checks. You move and you're taking, and then losing. And this isn't a check, and this is not a check. Yeah, you're just taking here. This is game over. There's no going anywhere without a check following up. Clock gonna expire. We're gonna see 4-0. This is not quite match point because 5.5 points will end this. So quite possibly just 2 more games. This is a pretty one-sided match here to start, with a couple of faulty openings from this side. I guess we should have watched it from the other side, but I thought this guy was a little bit higher rated. The account looks really strong. Kind of what enticed me to check this match out first. But hey, if this does end really quick, this match will conclude and we'll go right into Aryan's pairing, which starts at 1:30. I didn't think this would end so quick. We never know. Pretty solid stuff for white here. All right. Either knight e4, knight b5, probably bishop b5. Yeah. Knight e4 is the move I would have played. I think this guy, with how like strong he looks, sometimes these guys just go for something super normal, and it's just a little slow or something. I mean, this move that he played in the first round, in the first game, the bishop f5 stuff is all solid. Like Politier will play it, but that knight b5 line in the main line, the golden theory, the golden line, that's really the one to go for, especially if you're just starting your repertoire. It's too solid. It's too solid. Gotta play it. Or at least start with it, because it gives you a good foundation. That's kind of the bigger point. Okay, how to defend the square? Just give away the knight. I mean, this is a threat. This is a threat. Well, this is not really a threat, actually. Since there's no dark square bishop, there's no real follow-up. This kind of isn't doing anything. Okay, this is terrifying. If this bishop was out, it would have been game over. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow, you're just going to give up this check. Yeah, I was thinking bishop here would have just defended everything. Now you kind of have to play this. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Actually, this would have been losing on the spot with the checks. But yeah, white has screwed this up. Oh my god, and now this is check, so you have to move. Yeah, this is horrible. This is when you feel very bad as white. Okay, you're banking on something like this, right? Where you can eventually capture here, takes, get these 2 checks in. Just crazy how double-sided this game ended up out of nowhere. It should not be this double-sided. Like, we know that white should just have an extra crispy advantage for a long time, for time to come. Hey, do you just chop? Yeah, that's the worst thing is white, when you lose the advantage and you just face palm and want to die. You think, how the hell did where did I go wrong? That's really what it is. Oh my god, now there's got to be, what about like takes with the threat of this? Yeah, there had to be some sort of bishop moving here. Now this, speaking of problem pieces, remember my lecture? Okay, game over. On how these pieces end up just being bad. That was funny, you take the bishop check. Okay, okay. So I cursed this match possibly being over. Oh, do we see this? Do we see this line? Okay, okay, we're not going to see that. Where we get this funky, like, free knight thing, but then the knight takes, and bishop moves up, and sometimes you'll, like, go back and give up a check, and things get really horrible. Yeah, you're, like, playing for big tricks there. Where this, like, free knight line, and sometimes you'll defend this way, and the knights will be here and here, and it, like, kind of looks solid for white. Database doesn't totally agree. Yeah, and then it just wants you to, like, the main line is to give away the knight. I always seem to bring up this line because it's so fascinating. Like, where you will put a piece on an undefended square, give it up just to get, like, access to some other squares. It's usually all about removing this defender. Removing a key defender of a, you know, some huge squares here. Keeping queens and dark square bishops out of taking on f2. Or even taking on e3, it's like the reverse, where white wants to attack f7, e6, d7. White wants to attack the same if white structure is going to be there. Okay, what to do? Castle. Bishop d3. f5. You just take. I don't like that. I don't like taking. If you're just going to take pawns, just do it. Especially as black, I want to focus on development. Okay. So what to do here? Another one of these removing the defender things. Actually, this is defended twice, but say if you even did take, is there going to be some sort of checking and checking? Probably not. But those ideas do work a lot. Where, like, white will castle into some sort of force check with the queen, and all those lines are just game over. But I'll get, like, GMs to go for them. Like the David Markosian guy will go for, like, the same line where he will just castle right into queen takes h2, and it's as simple as that. Okay, are we going to see queenside castling here? Guy seems pretty inclined to play this type of way. I mean, you're putting your rook on a better file. You're not castling into a check. Getting out of the way of this. This works too. Okay. Good answer. Good answer. Good move. Was it, what's the meme? Like, great move or good move? Okay, this is checks. Takes. Castling. Then you're running into some sort of knight 8 or rook h4 stuff. Right? How bad is this gonna hurt? The queen could just move over. You're probably fine, but looks pretty scary. Looks pretty horrifying. Yeah, now this looks like one of these structures where, without the pawn on d7, like, getting an f5 might be a little wonky. Yeah, now this is going to be super weak, that's why. Okay, queen will move. Knight will somehow... Where are you coming? Where are you going? Okay, out of nowhere you have some sort of threats. Can totally work, but... Yeah, I was just thinking of alternate, not exchanging. Moving the rook up, not totally doing a ton. e5. 5 looks good. You ever induce a take and take? Rook is just going to come right over, right? Over and up. You want to start some sort of attack? Attack here. Attack here. Okay. All this is horrifying. Rook d8 probably. Queen d8. Okay. Creating a threat. Okay, is this still a threat? Queen would move. Check. Oh, no taking. It's going to be game over. Okay, what about taking? Yeah, this is eventually going to hit. Unfortunately, no coordination here. Oh, man. Oh, you can take. Take and you're getting mated? My god, that was a major blunder. Oh, that feels so horrible. That feels so bad. Okay. 5-1. This is match point. This is match point. Guys, I'll get to the chat in a second. Hang on. We are on the edge of our seats at the end of this one. Oh man. So what's this? Another D4, E5. Okay, E5 is the top response. You end up just with some decent positions, probably E4. You kind of get the center of the board. White thinks, why the hell did I just play D4? Well, what is going on? Why are you giving up this check? I don't like this at all. This is freaky. Okay, black says, I don't want to destroy your structure. I don't want to check. I mean, the engine will do this. The engine will absolutely do this all the time. Where you just give up a check. This just looks so strange. Oh, this just looks so weird. Unfamiliar. This looks fairly normal. I mean, in most of these D4 setups, you just get in C3, not like knight C3 and bishop D2. This bishop just looks awful. What are you doing? Where do you go? This structure. What is going on? Okay. And there was a check here too. There's another check available. Black says, I'll just get out of the way now. All right, now a queen exchange. Oh, this looks horrible. This looks amazing. This coordination. Probably even... Okay, if black didn't play queen g8, you probably could have taken with the rook. Takes. But now there's got to be something like maybe this? Okay, now definitely this, right? If I could... I was so amped up to even draw that move, I couldn't do it. I'm like... Yeah, this was amazing. I love this idea. Come on, you take that. Takes, knight takes back, and then rook h1. Probably ending the game. What? That's a cool move. Takes with check. I'll take back. Now I'm threatening a check. Now, I would have taken this check first. Come on. Okay. These sort of ideas. Oh, no, taking first? Now taking back looks better. No dark square bishop. Following up somewhere. Yeah, this looks horrifying. Looks like white should be able to find a win somewhere here. Yeah, and then this minor piece is problematic. I mean, why not taking here? Oh, what's the reason with this move? Just get your other piece in the game. Sack. Take this way, come on. You go for this, okay. I mean, this is just a fascinating game. Like, talk about trying to screw with your opponent. If black can pull this one off, out of nowhere, they do have the check. Why does the king go to the center? What is the logic of king d1? I would have thought like king b1 or something, right? No, king b1, then you're moving into this check. Okay, this is horrifying. You have to get out of the way of a knight check. Have to take back this way. There's no taking and giving up a check. That looked awful. Oh, okay, so this is going to come into play. And then this rook is just going to be too hard to stop. Where do you go here? No, this is not working. I don't like this. Yeah. Yep, black's about to win. We'll jump over to Aryan. Yeah, there's going to be... Well, yeah. Now you can play this, but you should have jumped over. Oh, well, knight c3. Oh, Aryan says his opponent is offline right now. Okay, so that gives us a little bit of time to prepare things as black is about to take this one home. Yeah, this doesn't work. This doesn't work with checks here. This is game over. Move the king, you're taken. Can you take your check first? That doesn't lead to anything. Yeah, all right, good games. Vlad _0 is going to take this one in the first installment of the 3-check 2022 World Championship.